My name is Daigo Matsui. I'm the director of Wonderful World End. It's a new generation girly movie. Thank you.
So a very warm welcome to the Berlinale and to the Teddy Awards too, the special Korea Film Prize.
ようこそいらっしゃいました。で、特にテディアワードから本当ようこそいらっしゃいましたと言いたいと思います。
とんでもないです。よろしくお願いします。
The honor is mine. Thank you.
Thank you. How would you describe the relationship of your two protagonists?
あなたの映画のその2人の女性の、キャラクターですね。その2人のその関係をどういうふうに描写なさいますか。どういうふうに。
どういうふうに考えてるかっていう。
どういうふうに説明していただきたいっていうことなんですけど。
なんか男女の恋愛を最初考えたんですけど、なんか同性女が女を思う気持ちっていうその同性が同性を思う気持ちの方がなんか異性を思う気持ちよりもはるかになんか強く可能性を感じて、こういった女性同士のものを描きました。
Okay, it actually started out with me thinking about depicting a heterosexual relationship, but then I started thinking that if I show a same-sex relationship, I would perhaps have more possibilities.
Why? What possibilities?
もっと可能性があるというのはどういう可能性ですか、具体的に。
恋愛においては、まあそのなんかこう告白をするだとか付き合うとかセックスをするだとか結婚するだっていうある一種のまあゴールがあったりするんですけども、なんかそうじゃなくて、なんかそうじゃないけれどもお互いをこう満たし合うものっていうのがなんか自分の中で、想像がつかないから面白いなと思って。
その異性の関係と比べて同性の方がそういう。Okay. Well, you know, when you talk about a romantic love relationship, conventionally you have goals. You know, like you go out together and you have sex and then possibly you get married and so on. Those are the goals. But then I thought, you know, in a relationship like this, you wouldn't necessarily be dealing with those goals. It's more about like fulfilling each other's like lives, and I just thought that, you know, especially because I can't quite imagine that, obviously, personally, it's kind of interesting, you know, more possibilities in that respect.
How did you work with the two actresses in order to achieve that goal or that idea of yours? What was the working process like?
でその2人の女優とその仕事をするにあたって、だからそのどのような演出の仕方、仕事の仕方をしましたか。その要するにやっぱりこういう特殊なものを描くにあたって。
できるだけ片一方のその17歳の方の女の子はすごくベテランの子で、13歳の方の女の子は本当にこの映画が初めてのお芝居だったので、っていう意味で言うとお互いに演技しなくてもいいかなと思っていて、上の子がその初めての子を支えるようにすればその子の下の子を思う気持ちも出るであろうし、プラスその初めての女の子に関しては本当に出演していただくことが決まってから当て書きをしたというか、緊張してあまりもともと声が出ない喋れない子だったので、それがもう緊張して喋れないということにすり替えたというか、そういう風にしてどんどん本人に寄せてストーリーを作っていった感じです。だから基本的に演出っていう演出はあんまりしてないです。
要するに現実の状況を利用してっていうな。はいはい。Okay. The older actress, the 17-year-old, she is a real veteran. She's professional. She's experienced. As opposed to her, the younger one, the 13-year-old girl, it was her very first acting experience. So I felt that by letting the experienced actress help, you know, the younger one, by letting her support the younger one, I would probably naturally get the kind of acting that I need for this film. And as far as the 13-year-old actress goes, for instance, she naturally She's very sort of quiet, and she naturally does not have a very loud voice. So, but I thought by depicting that as a characteristic, which comes from her like nervousness, I felt I could use that as part of the character. In other words, I just took advantage of what's inherent to her character and made that, integrated that as, into the character in the film.
プラス逆に最後のなんか物語の最後でもう役名じゃなくて本人の名前をこう呼び合うところがあって、しかも逆にそのベテランの17歳の女の子はそれができないって言って、でその初めての女の子はもう純粋に本人の名前を呼べたから、なんかそこに影響を受けて女の子も上の子もなんかこう下の子に救われたというか、なんかそうやって
本人の名前っていうのは本名ですか？その女優さんたちの。
女優さんたちの本名、役名じゃなくて。
だから終わりの方はそれが逆に。
そう本人の名前を役者だから言えなくて、でもこの初めての子は全然純粋にできたから、そこに引っ張られてセリフが言えたっていう。
Okay, and what was also interesting, what I would like to mention here is at the very end of the film, there's a scene where where these two actresses actually use their real names to address each other instead of the names of the characters. And for the 13-year-old girl, it was no problem. It was just very natural. But the interesting thing was the 17-year-old experienced actress, she said that she couldn't do it, that she wasn't able to do it. But then the 13-year-old dealt with that so naturally, so that affected the 17-year-old experience, so that in the end she was also able to call the 13-year-old by her real name. So the interesting thing is at the end, the support came reversed. The 13-year-old supported the experienced 17-year-old actress.
Nice. I also wanted to talk a little bit about communication in the film and the communication between the protagonists, where technology plays a really crucial role. And is that something that's like symptomatic or characteristic of Japanese youth culture, that communication is not happening, with like being physically present, but rather over technological communication?
でこの映画のそのコミュニケーションに関してちょっとお話を伺いたいんですけれども、すごくそのテクノロジー技術だから、その要するに携帯を使ってコミュニケーションを取っていますよね。それがすごい重要なポイントで、これっていうのはその日本の若者、日本社会全般で見られるその、現象なんでしょうか。
そうですね。
要するに直接こうコミュニケーションしゃべったりして、実際にこう同じところにいてこうコミュニケーションを取るっていうよりも、ああいうものを使うっていう。
特に本当にファストフード店とかファミレスとかでもう若者とかがもうすごい iPhone とかすごい発達してるんで、もうその場に座ってるのに喋らずになんかこう iPhone でメールのやり取りじゃなくて LINE でこう会話し合うみたいなことが結構こうもう頻繁に行われてて、なんかそれがなんか大人にとっては会話をもっとしろみたいな、なんかそういう風潮あるんですけど、僕なんかそのネットで会話してそれが満たされてたら、それはそれでいいんじゃないかっていう、なんかこうちゃんとなんか若者の目線に立ってその気持ちを満たされてることをなんか認めてあげたいなと。
Yeah, definitely. You see that in Japan all over. You sit you go to a fast food restaurant or other casual restaurants, and you see all these young people sitting there and just communicating, looking at the display of their smartphones and then communicating that way, and using line or checking the emails and so on. And it's very, 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 you see it everywhere. And the older people, the parent generation, they tend to tell them to just don't do that. That they don't approve of it. But the director, he has a different opinion, and he feels that that's okay. That's their mode of communication, and he would like to look at the whole phenomena more from the point of view of the young people, and he would like to acknowledge that. He would like to respect it.
Like what is it that might be positive about this sort of communication, and what is negative?
じゃあ、こういう形のコミュニケーションっていうのはいい面も悪い面もあると思うんですけれども、何が良くて何が悪いと思います？プラス面マイナス面。
ずっとつながっていられるっていう意味での、どんなに離れていてもなんかなんていうんですかね、いつもコミュニケーションを取れるというか、なんかそこがいい面でもあり悪い面でもあるかなと思っていて、なんか、まあ、それでずっとやっぱり満たされたりとか安心とかするけれども、でもどうしてもやっぱり会って手つないだりするような時間には、まあ、勝てないというか超えられないので、なんかそこに満足したら絶対良くないし、っていうところですね。
Well, this connectivity, the fact that you can be connected all the time and that physical distance plays no role, that is, if you will, a positive aspect. But I would also say that at the same time is also a negative aspect. It's positive and negative both. And because it may make you feel at ease, but you won't be able to hold hands. You won't be able to enjoy each other's physical presence. And it's not perfect. It's not complete. So you should definitely not be completely satisfied with that kind of communication. It's not perfect. So that's how I feel about it.
I would assume that it's already been screened in Japan, or maybe it's been shown to people, and I would wonder how the society generally reacts to the homosexuality in the film and just this kind of depiction of youth in Japan.
でこの映画は当然日本ではもうスクリーニングとか配給されたり上映されましたね。で反響はどうでしたか？それから特にその同性の、彼はホモセクシュアリティって言ってるんですけど、その同性の愛っていうテーマに関してどのような反応がありましたか？
実際結構言われることが多くて、その同性のものだと、あんまり僕作ってる時には全くそんなことを考えなかったというか、純粋になんか男女間の愛を超えたなんか愛情の映画が作れたらいいなと思って作ってたんで、それを結構同性愛の話っていう風に、でもそれを結構肯定的にみんな見てくれていたので、なんかすごくびっくりしているというところと、あとはでも反応に関して言うと、なんかみんなやっぱりうまく言葉が見つからなかったりとか、やっぱ後半結構なんですかね、理解不能、なんか理屈で考えたらついていけないような展開になっていくので、なんか、そこに対してすごいみんな私はこう思うと、僕はこう思ったとか、すごい主観をぶつけてくるので、それがすごい面白いなと思いますね。
Okay. Yes, it was, it got distributed in Japan, so people have seen it. And the reaction is, and the topic of quote-unquote homosexual relationship does get thematized. But when I was making this film, I wasn't thinking about depicting a homosexual relationship or anything. What it was rather, more than that, what I was interested in was depicting a relationship that transcends the conventional, usual heterosexual sort of relationship. And so I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't conscious of heterosexual, homosexual relationship and that sort of thing. But still, a lot of people thought about it and thought and talked about it. And the reaction was basically very positive. But it was simply unexpected for him because he wasn't aware of that. So he was surprised. It was unexpected, and also a lot of people said that they can't quite voice their opinion. They can't quite use words to. They don't know what to say in the sense of they can't quite find the right words, to talk about the film. And also, especially when it comes to the second half of the film, where where the events start turning in a way so that you cannot really explain things with in a rational way. Because of that, people would have very, very subjective opinion about it. And a lot of people came up to him and said, well, I personally think it's this and this and this. And so that was interesting.
Could you imagine this film with two boys as the protagonists?
どうでしょう、この映画をその2人の女の子じゃなくて、女性じゃなくて2人のその男の子で作るってことも想像できますか？
できますできます。
いや、
よりどうなるのよりポップによりファンタジーになる気がする。
よりポップ、よりファンタジック。
より肯定的な。
I think that if I could imagine, telling the story with two boys. I think he said that if he took two boys, then it would probably be more like pop, more like fantasy-like. It would be perhaps more affirming.
More adventurous, or like what is it?
どうです？例えばもっとこう冒険的アドベンチャラスなとかそういうな感じですかね。
あ
あ、what does it mean?
そうですね。なんかやっぱり
どういう意味でしょう？
男の方がなんか夢がある、夢というか、女性はなんだかんだ言って地に足つけてこう生きていると思っていて、やっぱり男の方がどうしてもこうバカにどんどんなってしまうと思っていて、なんかそういう意味では到達できないところに行っちゃう気がします。
I feel that women, girls tend to be more grounded than boys and men. So I think that if I took two boys, then the story would be, and to put it in positive terms, there would be more like dreams involved, that kind of ideas, like not so much reality. They would be less grounded, and you could say maybe they're stupid because more stupid than girls, because they're not so realistic, they're not grounded. But you could also look at it in a positive way, so it would be different. It would be because of the difference in the basic character, I think.
One of the final questions, I was wondering when you were developing the story and thinking about the realization of the film project, did sexuality play a role at all, or is it actually something that's minor?
でこのストーリーを、このストーリーのそのディベロップメントステージですね、練ってるその段階で、だからその性的なもの、そのセクシュアリティっていうのは実際にそのテーマの一つとしてあったんですか？
いや、それはなかったですね。ただでもその女性同士が追いかけっこし合うとか、ジャングルジムでこう横になるとか、なんかそういう明確に作りたい絵はあったんですけど、そうですね。なんかそこに向かってなんか作っていった感じですね。
そういうイメージも最初にあった。
そうですね。
No, sexuality as such was not, let's say, not a topic, not something that I wanted to consciously build in or anything. But what I definitely did have were images, certain images, such as these two young women or girls chasing each other, or that playground. There's a playground scene with this in Japan. It's called jungle gym. It's just steel structure.
Yeah.
And you can climb all over, and there's a scene where these two girls are there and they get very physically close. I did have that image. I definitely wanted those.
アイコンと取り合うのもやりたかったですね。
Also, another image that I definitely had from the beginning on, a scene I wanted to do was them snatching away, taking away each other's iPhones. That scene I definitely wanted to do.
僕がこう照明とかで綺麗にして、男というかプロがこうやって女性を撮ったところで、なんかこの子が可愛いなって思ってる女の子が撮るその子の顔の方がすごい断然可愛く撮れるというのがなんか絶望しつつも。
ごめんなさい、撮るって言うんですよ。お互いの写真を撮るって。I'm sorry, I misunderstood. There's a scene where they take each other's pictures with their iPhones. Okay.
They wanted
Talking
to
about
capture that image.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason why he definitely wanted to have that scene in is, no matter, even if you had a real veteran professional photographer shoot a picture of a woman, no matter how perfect the lighting may be. It is, the picture will not be as like warm-heartedly depicting the cuteness of the sort of if you will primitive iPhone picture that one girl makes of the other, when there is that kind of relationship, when there is that kind of love. So I definitely because that's how you get the cutest pictures, and that's what I definitely wanted to depict.
How is the attitude in the current young or youth culture in Japan? Are they open to the different forms of sexuality, and are they experimenting and being free? Is it basically like, does that idea of queer practically exist in Japanese youth culture?
どうなんでしょうか。今のその日本の若い人たちの間で、あるいは若者の文化の中でも、その性に対することなんですけれども、どうなんでしょうか。オープンなんでしょうか。だからその同性愛、異性愛、それからオカマだとか、いろんなフォームがあるわけなんですけれども、オープンでみんなそういうさまざまなそのセクシュアリティの形に接しているのか、実際に自分たちも実験しているのかとか、そこら辺どうなんでしょう。
とにかく今はもう本当に男が情けない状態になっていて、あんまり女性に行けないみたいなことプラス、女性がその仕事とかでやっぱり役割が強くなっていって、本当になんかエロい意味とかではなく、女性が女性を愛するとか、なんかそういうものは結構スタンダードになってきてるというか、特に若い人たちの間では結構そっちの方が流行っているというのはありますね。
女性が女性を愛するけれども、その性的な意味ではないっていう愛情、なんかそうですね、フレンドシップ的な愛情みたいな。
なんかすごい曖昧なんですけどね。
曖昧、そうですね。Okay, to sum it up, I feel that nowadays in Japanese society, men are kind of pathetic. Women are getting, in every sense of the word, stronger and stronger. They're getting more dominant. They're getting a lot more important. And this is really difficult to explain with words, but and I don't necessarily mean in the sexual way, but there is just a lot more like women loving another woman, not necessarily in a sexual way, but it's like
platonic.
Love. It's a very loving friendship, but loving relationship, and he feels that there is a lot more. You observe a lot more of that sort of relationship, which is really difficult to pinpoint. To pin down. But it's just getting a lot more dominant, while he feels that young men are just getting somehow in all sense, in all level, just weaker, less dominant, and pathetic. He said.
Okay, thank you so much for the interview. Thank you very much, and have a good time.
I show a same-sex relationship, I would perhaps have more possibilities.
Why? What possibilities?
もっと可能性があるというのはどういう可能性ですか、具体的に。
恋愛においては、告白をするだとか、付き合うとか、セックスをするだとか、結婚するだっていうある一種のゴールがあったりするんですけども、そうじゃなくて、そうじゃないけれどもお互いを満たし合うものっていうのが自分の中で、想像がつかないから面白いなと思って。
その異性の関係と比べて同性の方がそういう。Okay. Well, when you talk about a romantic love relationship, conventionally you have goals. Like you go out together and you have sex and then possibly you get married and so on. Those are the goals. But then I thought, in a relationship like this, you wouldn't necessarily be dealing with those goals. It's more about fulfilling each other's lives. And I just thought that, especially because I can't quite imagine that, obviously, personally.
Hi, my name is Daigo Matsui. I'm the director of Wonderful World End. It's a new generation Gary movie. Thank you.
So a very warm welcome to the Berlinale and to the Teddy Awards too, the special Korea Film Prize.
ようこそいらっしゃいました。で、特にテディアワードから本当ようこそいらっしゃいましたと言いたいと思います。
とんでもないです。よろしくお願いします。
The honor's mine. Thank you.
Thank you. How would you describe the relationship of your two protagonists?
あなたの映画のその2人の女性の、キャラクターですね。その2人のその関係をどういうふうに、it's kind of interesting, more possibilities in that respect.
How did you work with the two actresses in order to achieve that goal or that idea of yours? What was the working process like?
で、その2人の女優とその仕事をするにあたって、だからそのどのような演出の仕方、仕事の仕方をしましたか。その要するにやっぱりこういう特殊なものを描くにあたって。
できるだけ片一方のその17歳の方の女の子はすごくベテランの子で、13歳の方の
描写なさいますか。どういうふうに
どういうふうに考えてるかっていう。
どういうふうに説明していただきたいってことなんですけど。
なんか男女の恋愛を最初考えたんですけど、なんか同性女が女を思う気持ちっていう、その同性が同性を思う気持ちの方がなんか異性を思う気持ちよりもはるかになんか強く可能性を感じて、こういった女性同士のものを描きました。
Okay, it actually started out with me thinking about depicting a heterosexual relationship, but then I started thinking that if